And
Mike,
see, that's the voting
better come
group
sit
that
down.
I need. Strong.
First of all, I would like to wish everyone a Happy New Year. And on that note, we would like to call to order the Finance Committee meeting for January the 6th, 2020. All right. The first item, before we get into our agenda items, we will have our recognition of our Employee of the Month by Mayor Borson at this time.
Yes, our Employee of the Month is not here tonight, but we're going to go ahead and do everything that we usually do, except we won't have to move down in front. So, I will read this to you. Amanda Kendrick has been nominated for Employee of the Month for January 2020. Amanda was hired in December 2017 and is currently the Utility Clerk 2 in the Revenue Division. She began in the position of Security Information Clerk Receptionist and quickly moved her way to a Utility Clerk 1 and was then quickly promoted to Utility Clerk 2. Amanda has 3 children, ages 18, 15, and 11. Her 2 younger children play soccer, and she loves to watch them play. Prior to coming to work for the City of Muskogee, she worked for the Housing Authority in Tulsa as a Section 8 housing coordinator. Amanda was nominated for going above and beyond in her position. Amanda covers nearly every desk in the Revenue Division and performs those duties efficiently when someone is gone. In addition to filling in while employees are out, Amanda is often required to perform the duties of her own position as well. Amanda is at work every day. She is very dedicated to doing a great job. She is a great trainer and treats customers and coworkers with kindness and patience. Often customers will call and ask for her by name because they remember how helpful she is. Congratulations to Amanda on this award. And if her boss is here, do they want to say anything further?
Amanda actually works in our division. She works in the revenue, and she is definitely an asset. She has covered every desk that we have. She covers at the payment center and is always here. She's always very thoughtful and courteous, and we really appreciate her.
Well, that's great. We have lots of good employees. And with that, I'll give you back the floor.
Thank you. All right, going into the agenda at this time, item number 1, please.
Consider approval of Finance Committee minutes of December 2nd, 2019.
Reviewing of the minutes, are there any additions or corrections to our minutes?
Move for approval.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the minutes for December 2nd. Any discussion? Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Evelyn Hibbs.
Yes.
Stephanie Morgan.
Yes.
Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Alex Reynolds.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Mayor Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Item number 1 passes. Item number 2.
Consider approval of claims for all city departments November 23rd, 2019 through December 26th, 2019.
Do we have a report from the Purchasing Committee?
Purchasing Committee did meet this evening, did go over claims, and Mayor brought up there were quite a bit of reimbursements to a lot of the apartment complex and so we looked at them over, and I do appreciate the response from staff, and I would recommend approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve our claims. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Evelyn Hibbs.
Yes.
Stephanie Morgan.
Yes.
Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Alex Reynolds.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Mayor Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Item number 2 passes. Item number 3, please.
Consider approval to award lowest bid to Ground Zero Roofing for Station Number 3 roof repair in the amount of $41,500 or take other necessary action.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Mr. Chairman, committee members, as part of our Station 3, the fire station on West Oklahoma.
I don't think your mic's on.
Do I need to see that?
I don't think it's on.
Hello?
There you go.
Mr. Chairman and Council, this is part of our Station 3 renovation project on West Okmulgee, and we put the project out to bid. We would recommend this low bidder contingent upon them providing for us performance and maintenance bonds that were not part of the bid, and we reviewed this in Purchasing Committee, and Mr. Johnson recommended that we proceed with this way. So we had asked for your recommendation based on that contingency as a low bid item.
I would make that motion that we do consider this as low bid. I do appreciate the staff going through on this. This is exciting to see Station 3 going. This is a great asset for our community. I appreciate the Parks Department taking this project on. So we would like to make sure that we do have a performance maintenance bond, and we do need to make sure the affidavits are enclosed on this. It will probably increase the project about 5%, but we need that assurance for our community. So that would be my recommendation.
Second?
I have a motion and a second to approve this agenda item. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Evelyn Hibbs.
Yes.
Stephanie Morgan.
Yes.
Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Alex Reynolds.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Mayor Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Item number 3 passes. Item number 4, please.
Consider approval to award lowest bid to Today's Roofing for roof repair of hangar number 1 at Hatbox Field in the amount of $54,800, or take other necessary action.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Hatbox Hangar 1 is the old box hangar. We refer to it as Hangar 1. It'll be connected to the new building that's under construction out there. We have existing funding from the foundation to renovate this building, so the funding for this will come from our foundation grant for that renovation. We had multiple bidders, and we would recommend this low bidder, Today's Roofing.
Move for approval?
Second?
I have a motion and a second to approve this agenda item. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Evelyn Hibbs.
Yes.
Stephanie Morgan.
Yes.
Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Alex Reynolds.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Mayor Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Item number 4 passes. Item number 5, please.
Consider approval to award a contract to the lowest and best bid, Darius Contractors LLC, for the wastewater treatment plant HVAC restoration project in the amount of $322,600, or take other necessary action.
Mr. Riley?
Yes, Mr. Chairman and committee. This is the wastewater treatment plant HVAC. It was limping along, planned to be replaced with our WRB loan, and then the flood came and it went kaput. We put this out to bid with the low bidder. Our plan is to use OWRB money for the part that needed to be replaced originally and get reimbursed for the part that the flood caused. That would be the majority of the ductwork that we typically wouldn't have to replace. We have to replace now because it was all in the basement, which was completely submerged. So all the ductwork has to be replaced, and the flood caused the project to be quite a bit bigger than it would have been. So we'll get reimbursed from FEMA with what we can, and then we'll pay the rest with the OWRB loans, and we'll use the reserves for the flooding part. But anyway, we've put temporary cooling out there. The boiler still works, so heating is working. Part of this contract will have the contractor responsible for cooling through the summer as the contract goes on. So we'll be covered until this project is complete, and then we'll have the new chiller in place. So I'll be happy to answer any questions, and we recommend approval.
Make a motion for approval?
Second?
I have a motion and a second to approve this agenda item. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Evelyn Hibbs.
Yes.
Stephanie Morgan.
Yes.
Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Alex Reynolds.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Mayor Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Item number 5 passes. Item number 6.
Consider approval to purchase materials from Core and Main LP and Utility Supply Company based on the lowest and best bids for water distribution materials in the amount of $188,648.16 and $141,524.71 respectively, or take other necessary action.
Mr. Riley?
Yes, Mr. Chairman and committee, this item is a new way we're going to purchase our parts for water distribution. We've been having issues getting parts when we need them, so we've determined what we believe we're going to need using our education of what we use, what we're going to need for the next 6 months. So we're going to make one big order, get the parts in, we'll protect them, guard them, and when we go out to work, we'll have what we need without having to stop and go order something. We did this in the past before my time, but I believe it will be the best way to keep our crews equipped to work. So we bid these big lots, and this should give us enough supplies to cover our distribution for 6 months. And I'll be happy to answer any questions, and we recommend approval.
Make a motion for approval of this item. I think this is very wise, putting items out like this, that we have parts on hand, but also we're definitely going to get our best price with putting them out like this.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve this agenda item. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Evelyn Hibbs.
Yes.
Stephanie Morgan.
Yes.
Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Alex Reynolds.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Mayor Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Item number 6 passes. Item number 7.
Consider approval of Oklahoma State contract pricing from J&R Equipment LLC of Oklahoma City for the purchase of 4 2020 Peterbilt refuse trucks with Labrie automated bodies in the amount of $285,246 each, for a total of $1,140,984 for use in the solid waste division, or take other necessary action.
Mr. Riley?
Yes, Chairman, Mr. Chairman and committee. We're going to talk about trash trucks here for a minute. Several of you weren't here in 2018 where we embarked on our trash study. So I'm going to go through some of that quickly. As most of you know, our level of service for $17 a month, you get a cart. You can put out 5 bags with it. It's picked up once a week. We have brush and limb set outs on Fridays that you can call in for. We have every customer can have 2 bulky items picked up every year. We have our household pollutant events, our free dump days, and you can even purchase additional carts. So these were the conditions we embarked on. Some of the issues that we have are staffing. Since I've been here, we've not been fully staffed in this department, this division, and we believe that's a condition of poor conditions, low pay, sometimes dangerous conditions, and we have a lot of employees on workers' comp in this division. So one thing that automated trucks do is they improve safety. Through 16 through 17, we had 22 injuries that we feel 19 would have been preventable with automated trucks. OSHA tells us that it's safer. You're not going to have your guys out in the street. They're going to not have the stuff splashing in their face as they go in the car, because they'll be in the cab while the trucks are being dumped. And then one of the issues, other main issue we've had is we had to pull from other divisions, as we talked about, when people don't show up for work, bad days, sick time, and everything. So in 2019, our average was 3 employees every day. Okay. Our average was 3 employees every day, and the big months, August, September, October, when it's hot, 5 a day. What that does is it pulls the guys that need to be mowing and picking up trash, because we have to pick up the trash. So that makes it difficult to get the jobs that need to be done at the time they need to be doing, which is the important things like mowing and street repairs. So we have, and it also takes away their temporary employees. Sometimes the temporary employee's there on bad days, and he doesn't like being out in the snow or the hot, and we lose that temporary employee for whatever department he's in. And the bad weather days are when we have the highest absenteeism. So, and that even puts workers' comp issues from this division into street and environmental control. So we did the automated study in 2018. We evaluated residential, commercial. Our recommendations and the cost analysis was given. Was the result of that, and we plan to reduce even our commercial routes from 3 to 2. So the key recommendations, one big thing that we embarked on with the deal is, years ago we had an automated truck. It was too big, and it had issues getting in and out of our streets. So one of the main keys when we started the study was to get truck size that will work in our streets. So we can also because of the speed with picking up using automated trucks, we can reduce routes from 5 to 3. And, you know, right now we have 2 to 3 people on a truck. This will reduce it to 1 per truck. We're going to optimize our routes, 2 trips for landfill per day for each truck. We're going to pick up, we're going to keep a semi-automated route. That's mainly for the customer side so that we don't have to limit what you can put out. You'll still be able to put out your 5 bags. We'll still have handicap service and brush and limb day, but this other route's going to pick up all those so the automated guy's not jumping in and out of his truck all day. And then we're still going to reduce commercial routes from 3 to 2. Our hope is, with operational changes, once we get this going with the new routes, we may be able to lower the amount of days that we actually do the commercial routes. So personnel changes. Currently, we've got 20 personnel in this division, and then with this change, it's just 9 solid waste operators, 4 for commercial, 5 residential, with the supervisor maintenance leader. So it goes from 20 to 11. But anybody that's in the current position will be absorbed into streets or environmental control, so no one's going to lose their job in this situation. We're going to cross-train all the operators so they can do commercial, they can do the extra route or the automated. We're going to do routing, and we're going to have actual GPS in the truck with TomTom type technology that tells them where to go and what to pick up. So we can pretty much put any one of the guys in that truck, and he'll be able to run that route. We're expecting to be a higher pay grade. There is the study that started for the pay grades, but operating this truck is a more skilled position, so the pay grades should raise on this one. There'll be for the commercial semi-automated, there'll be 3 trucks with 2 operators, and this allows us more flexibility as far as substitution because everybody will be trained as an operator. Currently, we have 11 semi-automated trucks. We use 8 daily. We do have 3 backups, 5 residential and 3 commercial. With this, we're going to have 9 total trucks we're buying. This item is to buy 4 automated trucks. They're going to run the 3 routes, and then we have a spare so that we don't get, whenever one's in for repair or something, we'll have one to work. And we'll rotate those so that they're equally used, so we're not going to use just 3 and leave the other one sitting. We have the money available in our solid waste fund. We haven't purchased trucks for several years anticipating this, so we'll be able to make this purchase. And then this purchase has a 5-year warranty, so we believe we can run these for 5 years. When they're still in good condition, it'll be a time that we would possibly trade out to upgrade our stock so we don't get old trucks like we're running right now. As we talked, with citizens, nothing's really going to change other than we're going to have to do an education campaign about placing your cart in the right position and where we can get to it. And then you're not going to be able to overfill the cart. So we'll do an education campaign as we go on and we'll even do that before the trucks get here, is start that to get everyone in good position to know what to do on that. So overall, why we did the study, the high workers' comp was a big deal. The poor working environment, because if it's 110 degrees out, you got to work outside in the heat. If it's 10 degrees, the same deal. It's not a good place to be. Lower pay and loss of employees during the working conditions. Why are we recommending this? It's mainly better working conditions. The operator is going to mainly be in that cab, and it'll help our environmental control, keep the same level of service to citizens. It'll help with cleaner, better maintained streets and right-of-ways because those divisions will be fully staffed. And all workers will continue employment with the city. And overall, the operation study shows that doing all this will save us between $250,000 and $300,000 a year. So currently, we've been looking at trucks for a while. When word gets out that buying $1 million worth of trucks, a lot of people come and knock on your door. So we have demoed a ton of trucks. I know 5 have actually been here that we've actually driven and actually completed routes with our personnel in the truck. So our personnel have done it, and we've looked at many different trucks. Again, our big priority was a turning radius. So this truck is the tightest turning radius that we had. They're actually shorter than our current trucks with the same size capacity, 22 yards. And then we feel like we have a very robust packer and arm. It'll pick up more than we allow in the cart, because when you're sitting in the truck and you're picking up the cart, you don't know what's in there. So you could quickly bend or break something. So this one's a very strong, robust arm. And Chris Marshall in our solid waste division is going to come up, and he did most of the demo, so he's going to tell you what he thought about it.
Good evening. Well, I operated the truck. It came about a month ago. And like Mr. Riley said, we short of men every day. Me and Sonny Brown, one of the supervisors. We got pulled men from other departments that try to make it work so we can pick up trash. But this truck, I operated. I ain't never drove one in my life from the other side. The truck it operates real smooth. I ran the whole day with it. The young man that trained me, he's real good. He's a younger cat than me. So he graded me C when I first started. At the end of the day, he said, I got a B+. It's real smooth truck. The arm go out real smooth. We won't bust a bunch of carts, because it barely grabs it, dump, set it right back down. Everything just one good motion. We ain't got to worry about too much maintenance on them or none of that. But to me, and to the rest of them, it's the way we need to go. I've been here 31 years. Workman comp is real high back there. I done had torn rotators by pulling on them, and this would be easier. We in the cold weather, in the heat, and everybody would come to work. It would be a lot easier, safer for us in our department. So, Sonny Brown drove one. He tell you the same thing as I'm telling you. And we in Muskogee, we behind. Everybody else is doing it. We've been checking around. Me and a couple of other workers, and that's the best way to go. All I can really tell you.
Thanks, Chris. But yeah, one thing I didn't mention was one thing about this truck is it's very gentle on the cans. We had some that we demoed that crushed them every time they grabbed them, which was going to cost us a lot of money in the long run. We did go to Oklahoma City, which runs this type of truck and body. They had a yard amazingly full of them. There's probably 90-something trucks out there and they all run in this configuration. We looked at Norman, Moore, and we've done our homework, and we think we're making the best decision in buying this truck and these trucks. And this, everything we've seen and everything we've looked at, this has been the best option we've come up with. These trucks will have cameras. We're going to have views from the sides in the hopper, and it just as far as safety goes, they're going to be amazing for us. And then they, like I said, I told you we're going to have a 5-year warranty with them, and then look at replacement as we get to the end of that warranty. Here's a picture of the truck. Ours will be one of the things is visibility. You see the cab over the front wheel. That puts the driver right there, lower to the ground, with full visibility of what's in front of him. And then he's going to be, he's going to be on the right side. So when he pulls up to a cart, he'll be able to see where it is, put the grabber on it, pick it up, and dump it, and move on to the next one. After this, several things we have to do once these are purchased. We've got about a 7-month lead time until they get here. We're going to get our routing set up and have everything ready to go when the trucks hit the ground, and then we'll work them into our system. And we'll revamp the commercial routes as part of that, and hope to start the fully automated routes late summer when the trucks arrive. And we recommend approval, and I'll happy to answer any questions.
Any questions or comments for Mr. Riley?
Yes, may I be recognized, Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Riley, go back to that picture of the truck. And also, I'd like to, the gentleman that's from the bid, will he come to the mic? Because I asked him a few questions before he came in.
I'm Randy Holtz with J&R Equipment.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Talks. I was curious on this truck. Okay, the front part of the truck and the arm and the back part, are they all bought separately? What comes with the truck?
What you see in that pic, I mean, everything comes in the picture.
I'm talking about, are these parts bought separately, or is this just one truck bought? Like, what I'm trying to see is, like, where is the truck manufactured?
The truck is manufactured by Peterbilt, and the body's manufactured by Labrie.
Okay, you know where state or where they're
The
manufactured at?
Labrie body is built in Canada. The truck chassis, I'm not sure of. I can find out and get that back to you.
Okay. And we remember I was asking you just a while ago about the arms and
Yes,
the
sir.
chain drive, like when you dump it. Tell me the maintenance on it.
It's just a matter of keeping it greased and keeping everything adjusted correctly. And we've also told we're going to get with the maintenance guys and show them how to do that maintenance. That's part of our process. The gentleman that came and did the demo, he's a young guy, but he's been around automated his whole life, and he's part of the training. So as operators change, things change. We'll bring him back. But also, I live in Toledo, Oklahoma, so I'm close. I can come up here and make adjustments. I have a service background, worked for CAT for 15 years. So we have a long-standing, good service record, and we'll keep doing that here too. So
that chain drive is better than hydraulics?
it is it's using a hydraulic cylinder. It just uses the chain to make the items move. It's using a hydraulic cylinder.
Do they make trucks without that chain, though?
I'm sorry?
Do they make trucks without you having to use that chain and do all that maintenance on that chain?
They do have some trucks that are like that.
Because the reason I'm making a point on this, when we get this truck and it's new, yeah, it's going to run good, but I just want our employees to make sure that they're keeping the chain and everything maintenance-wise,
Yes, sir.
done correctly.
Right. And we're planning to come up here once a quarter till they get proficient in doing that maintenance on that chain. It's not that big a deal. It's a 20-minute adjustment, and we'll show them how to do it when we deliver the trucks and then throughout the time that you have the trucks.
And the arm is definitely hydraulic.
It's hydraulic. Yes, sir. And it goes out 12 foot, and it'll pick up 1,000 pounds. So that's one thing that they looked at. The trucks is some arms don't go out as far, and that's an issue. And the longer it reaches, the easier it is to get a hold of things.
Well, I talked to Boyersville this morning, and their Public Works Director.
Yes, sir.
And that's I was told some different information. I'm going to confirm it with Mr. Miller here in a minute. Mm-hmm. But he told me what on these trucks, the problem is a lot of the pumps. And so I'm curious about the pumps, on these trucks.
Right. We use a vane pump with a little bit of pressure behind it in the hydraulic tank that keeps those pumps charged with oil. There's no cavitation. Bartlesville runs a different brand of truck, and they do not use that air, and they have had pump issues, but it's not the same. It's not the same system. So
just to be clear, they run the same. They don't have a Labrie.
no,
They have the Peterbilt, but they don't have the Labrie where the pump is.
Correct.
We're talking about.
Yes,
They're
and
different.
we demoed the one they have, the new way, which is similar to this, but not near as robust. That was part of the issue with the demo, was it was very shaky, and the new way was just not built as well as this one.
Okay. Because I checked with Boyersville, and I just wanted to make sure. Is that the exact same thing he told you, Mr.
Yes,
Miller?
he did. But he said that's why I confirmed that they're using they're not using the Labrie automated body that we're getting. He's using a different one.
And also their pump system is the front mounted pump, which we're not getting that on this.
they're getting transmission mounted pumps, but it'll still have the air pressure that keeps that pump charged with fluid, so it can't cavitate.
Okay.
It's got a positive head pressure.
Will you answer my questions?
Thank you, sir.
Make a motion to approve, and I would like to express my appreciation, and this goes all the way back to where Mike Stewart was here. When we started buying trash receptacles, I mean, when a lot of cities switch over, you got to start with containers. This process started a long time ago, and so I appreciate the guys that work every day in our field, servicing our customers, doing it the hard way. And unfortunately, we're going to have to continue to do it the hard way for 7 months till we wait on this new equipment. I appreciate you guys in the field evaluating these trucks and looking at 5 different pieces of equipment and determining what is best for our community, and looking at what is best for our employees, what is best for our community. Because we've done this once before, and we bought a truck, and it wound up it wasn't the best truck because you got to match the truck with the roads and with the community. This was not taken lightly, and I appreciate all the work from the maintenance department. It's going to be maintaining these vehicles to the waste department. Thank you very much for your efforts, and I think the only challenge with this is going to be old dogs like me that put our trash carts out, and we're going to be used to putting them away and training us to do it the certain way, and from community just having to be educated on how to do it the right way. Thank you very much. That would be my recommendation.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve this agenda item.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
the only thing I would comment on, because I think this is a good idea, but I'm looking forward also, Mr. Riley, and to the city manager to see ways where we can take the savings that we're going to accumulate over time and trying to reinvest a portion of that into the salaries, into the sanitation area, particularly in areas of classifications of jobs such as those drivers, so that we can come up to market rate with those other cities that are similar in size and within the market area as well.
I was going to ask you one more question, Mr. Riley. Was that this $285,000, or was that the original bid? Low bid?
This is state bid. We looked at mini trucks, and price wasn't our main factor. I mean, this is not the cheapest truck, but we believe it's the best truck for what we're going to do. So.
Like Councilman Johnson, I'd like to thank Mr. Marshall, Mr. Brown back there. They worked for the city quite a while, and they know, I got confidence in them. They know what they're doing. They do this job every day. And thank you, Mr. Marshall, for going out testing that truck. I'm having faith in you. You say it's a good truck, and it handles good. I'm taking you at your word, sir. I turn the floor back over to you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you kindly. Ready to vote? Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Evelyn Hibbs.
Yes.
Stephanie Morgan.
Yes.
Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Alex Reynolds.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Mayor Janie Boydston.
Yes.
All right, item number 7 passes. Item number 8.
Consider approval of Oklahoma State contract pricing from Kirby Smith Machinery Incorporated for the purchase of a Falcon 4-ton transporter asphalt hot box in the amount of $36,460 for use in the street division, or take other necessary action.
Mr. Riley?
Yes, Mr. Chairman and committee. This was a budgeted item for this budget year. We talked about it during the budget, but we are purchasing what is a trailer mounted, it's called a hot box for short. Basically, it'll keep our asphalt hot during the day using gas on the trailer. And then when we take it in at night, we can plug it in, and it'll continue to keep our asphalt hot through the night. So it helps with our patching. We're not using cold mix that comes out every time it rains. We're going to be squaring and patching with hot mix everywhere we can. And this is a very good item for that. I've used it in the past in another city, and it works very well. And I'll be happy to answer any questions and recommend approval.
Make a motion to approve item number 8. I think it's one more step how the council and how our community is taking a better step at maintaining our roads.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Evelyn Hibbs.
Yes.
Stephanie Morgan.
Yes.
Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Alex Reynolds.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Mayor Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Item number 8 passes. Item number 9.
Consider approval for matching grant funds for the Roxy Theater Community Trust totaling $3,595.26, or take other necessary action.
Mr. Miller?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, we, in our budget, encouraged the Roxy to take advantage of our matching grant fund as part of their fundraising efforts. And for the last quarter, this is the amount they've raised and requested for a match from the matching grant fund. I do recommend approval. It already has been approved by the Roxy Grant Trust
Yes.
Board.
We appreciate the city matching the funds and I move for approval.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve agenda item. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Evelyn Hibbs.
Yes.
Stephanie Morgan.
Yes.
Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Alex Reynolds.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Mayor Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Item number 9 passes. Item number 10.
Consider approval to receive donated funds for the city's animal shelter sponsorship program for the months of October and November 2019 in the amount of $2,708.74, or take other necessary action.
Mr. Garvin.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, in October, we received donations in the amount of $1,441.74. November, the amount was $1,267. Recommend approval to receive the donated funds in the amount of $2,708.74 for the animal shelter sponsorship program.
Move for approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve this agenda item. Any discussion? Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Evelyn Hibbs. Stephanie Morgan.
Yes.
Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Alex Reynolds.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Mayor Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Item number 10 passes, and with that item passes, that is the final item for our Finance Committee.
I will now call to order Public Works Committee meeting of January the 6th, 2020. To order. Item number 1, please.
Consider approval of Public Works Committee minutes of December 2nd, 2019.
Everybody's had time to review. Do I have a motion?
Move for approval.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Evelyn Hibbs.
Yes.
Excuse me, Stephanie Morgan.
Yes.
Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Alex Reynolds.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Mayor Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Item number 1 passes. I've had a request to move item number 5 up to item number 2. I would entertain a motion at this time to move that item.
Move for
Second.
approval.
Got a motion to move item. Do I have a second? And I have a second. Roll call, please, to move item number 5 to item number 2.
Deputy Mayor Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Evelyn Hibbs.
Yes.
Stephanie Morgan.
Yes.
Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Alex Reynolds.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Mayor Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Item passes. Item number 5, please.
Consider approval of the preliminary plat of Walnut Creek Addition consisting of 127 lots on 30 acres located on South Country Club Road, or take other necessary action.
Ms. Callahan, please.
Thank you, Chair, Commission members. This is a request from the City of Muskogee as the applicant and agent for Home Creations. It's for the preliminary plat for Walnut Creek Addition. It's now 126 lots on the 30 acres that's located on South Country Club Road. It will be a 2-phase subdivision. The first phase will be 40 lots, and the second phase, we hope, will be the 86 lots. Here is the plat as presented. And this identifies the boundaries in the yellow. We have the water line, sewer line, and the streets will be installed. And we're also dedicating an additional 40 foot of right-of-way for any expansion along Country Club in the future. Here's the site location and gives you a kind of a bearings. You'll see Creek Elementary Schools there to the north. This is the presentation that was done at the Mayor's State of the City address that shows the preliminary plat. Back at that time, a few little changes have been made, and then the examples of the houses that will be built. The Walnut Creek addition, this is just the preliminary plat, and staff, subdivision review, and planning commission have recommended approval. Happy to answer any questions.
Do I have a motion?
Move
Sir.
the approval.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any other comments from
Mr.
committee?
Chairman, may be recognized.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Callahan,
Yes.
there's no sidewalks on this plan?
Yes, there will be. It's a type A street that will be built in the subdivision, and then in the future along Country Club, there would be type A streets.
Good. Turn the floor back over to you, Mr. Chairman.
Any other comments? I think this is one of the most exciting things, and thank you again to all the hard work from everybody. Exciting things for our community. Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Wayne Johnson?
Yes.
Evelyn Hibbs?
Yes.
Stephanie Morgan?
Yes.
Marlon Coleman?
Yes.
Ivory Van?
Yes.
Derek Reed?
Yes.
Alex Reynolds?
Yes.
Jamie Stout?
Yes.
Mayor Janie Boydston?
Yes.
Item number 5 passes. Item number 2, please.
Hold a public hearing and take action on the approval of Ordinance 4086A, rezoning the property located on South Country Club Road, more particularly described in the ordinance from A Agriculture District to PUD, Planned Unit Development District, and if approved, authorize staff to revise the official zoning map of the city to reflect said change or take other necessary action.
We will now open a public hearing on item number 2. Ms. Callahan.
Thank you, Chair, Commission members, committee members. This is a request for the rezoning, and the reason that we had to switch the agenda items is that the preliminary plat needed to be approved, which will be the site plan for the rezoning for the PUD. It is to rezone the 30 acres that's there along South Country Club from agriculture to the planned unit development classification. And as I said, the site plan will be the preliminary plat for Walnut Creek Addition. Any major changes to the preliminary plat will need to come through the process again. This is to allow for the single-family residential development. The site is currently agriculture and vacant land, or as you can see, it is hayfield. And it runs right along Country Club quite a ways. To the north is also agriculture. There's a single-family home and some vacant land. To the south is zoned single-family residential. There are single-family homes. It is the Country Club Plaza addition there along Canterbury. It's the backyards of those homes. And to the east is zoned light industrial. It's East Point Industrial Park. There's the A&B distributing plant, and there's some vacant land. To the west is zoned multifamily residential with the Diamond Creek Addition, and then another planned unit development was the Country Gardens Assisted Living Center. Here's the site. And then get some bearings. There's Creek Elementary to the north. We've got the ABN distributing. And the future land use map shows the area that's highlighted there in the gray to be remain light industrial. And then the area that's highlighted in the yellow is to be the, remain the single-family residential or a multifamily residential, some of those, but it is in a residential. So that's the future land use map. The planned unit development for residential development does comply with the comprehensive plan use map, and staff and planning commission recommend approval. Happy to answer any questions.
We've had no one signed up to speak to this item, so we will now close the public hearing on item number 2. We will now open it up for the committee if they have any questions for staff.
Move for approval.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Wayne Johnson?
Yes.
Evelyn Hibbs?
Yes.
Stephanie Morgan?
Yes.
Marlon Coleman?
Yes.
Ivory Van?
Yes.
Derek Reed?
Yes.
Alex Reynolds?
Yes.
Jamie Stout?
Yes.
Mayor Janie Boydston?
Yes.
Item number 2 passes. Item number 3, please.
Hold a public hearing to discuss and accept projects completed under Oklahoma Department of Commerce Contracts 16756, CDBG 16, and 17034, CDBG 17, and authorize all payments due or take other necessary action.
We will now open a public hearing on item number 3. Ms. Callahan.
Thank you. This is a required public hearing for our CDBG applications and our contracts. We have 2 public hearings. We have one for the application phase and then for the closeout phase. I'm taking both of these at the same time because they have both been completed, and they're also kind of intermixed in the number of structures. We would use some of the funding from each one to get our demolition projects, and 2016 had our cleanup projects in it. We had approximately $468,000 of the funds between CDBG and our match, and with that we did about 67, give or take, structures. And then on our cleanup in 2016, we had 20 sites that were cleaned up. And then we have our administration fees that we have taken advantage of to help with our postage, our publications, and our administration of the grant. And so all those funds are expended, and we have completed the last demolition project with Whitting Hill Disposal.
I've had no one signed up to speak to item number 3, so we will now go ahead and close the public hearing. Now we will open it up for committee members to have questions or clarifications for staff. Do I have a motion?
Move the approval.
Second.
Got a motion and a second? Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Evelyn Hibbs.
Yes.
Stephanie Morgan.
Yes.
Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Alex Reynolds.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Mayor Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Item number 3 passes. Item number 4, please.
Consider approval of ordinance number 4087A of the City of Muskogee, Oklahoma, amending Chapter 2, Administration, amending Article 5, Boards and Commissions, adding Division 16, Contractors Prequalification Board, Sections 2-550, Definitions, 2-551, Board Membership, 2-552, General Requirements, 2-553, Fees, 2-554, Certification of Compliance for providing for repealer, severability, and declaring an emergency, or take other necessary action.
Mr. Riley, please.
Yes, Mr. Chairman of the committee, this has been discussed quite a bit in the past. Back in the 70s, we did have a pre-qualification, and for some reason it didn't continue. Many other cities, the state, actually pre-qualify contractors before they can bid a project. Knowing that we have we're on the verge of putting out some bigger contracts than we've had in the past with the new street money, we felt it was important that we get this put together for conversations with you and with our street advisory committee. So this sets up a board, and before they can bid, the contractor will fill out an application, and then we'll review them in PublicWorks meetings and either approve or not approve a contractor to do work in the city. To bid work in the city. One qualification we put on street work was that they have to be approved on ODOT's pre-qualification list, because we use ODOT specifications, and we feel that if ODOT won't certify them, we don't feel like we should use them either. So this sets up the board, and we'll begin certifying as quick as we can so that we can get some projects out to bid and be covered on who's bidding our projects. So I'll be happy to answer any questions and recommend approval.
Mr. Riley, and go ahead.
No, if you have questions, go ahead. I'd like to.
Mr. Riley, my understanding, we did have this process in the past.
Yes.
And it was abandoned, and I know this was before your time. Through your research of talking with staff, do you know why that?
I don't know, Roy, do you have?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I just remember that it was, and it was repealed.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Miller, did you have some?
Yes, what you have before you is a draft. So the idea is to make sure you guys have an opportunity to comment. We think we probably will tweak it a little bit. Mr. Tucker is working with us. He's been out, as you guys know, and so he's going to work with us on maybe a couple of more tweaks between now and next Monday when it comes for final approval. So really the intention today is to have discussion about the idea. I sent this to you in the Friday report so you could look at it a little bit early, hopefully. And that we'll have a final full package ready to vote on next Monday when we have our full council meeting, and then take into consideration any of the comments or directions that you want to give us additionally, certainly tonight.
I did notice some of the fees and everything with the pre-qualifications, which is very common. Is there a community or someone that we looked at and resembled their pre-qualifications?
A lot of this resembles what our previous pre-qualification was, but we did look at other cities, and it is similar. They're all very similar to this type of deal, where an application is submitted and a board approves or disapproves.
Yeah, and it's pretty common, and that's on large projects and on municipalities, and that's why it was kind of unusual. Thank you very much. Any other questions from the committee?
Mr. Riley, this is consistent with many other cities in Oklahoma that they require some type of pre-qualifications in order to get bids.
Yes, it is. A lot of your larger cities that do a lot of construction, They require this, as does the state. So.
And I agree with you that with the volume of, especially streets projects that we're getting ready to encumber, that we do need something like this to be certain that we get qualified contractors, so that we're not in a situation where we do streets and have to go back, faster than normal to have them redone because they were done inappropriately by people that should have been pre-qualified before they were given the bids. So
Yes.
I think this is a really good move.
So I would also like to draw your attention, if I may, that the makeup of the board is 2 council members as well as staff. And so if that's something that you guys are amenable to, we might consider next week who among you would be willing to be part of that. In the past, it's been the chair of the Public Works Committee is also serves, but it doesn't have to be. But we'd like to form the committee relatively soon. And so if we go forward with two council members as part of the board, which is the current recommendation, we'd like to also consider that at the meeting next Monday, who those 2 would be. So I just wanted to throw that out there as food for thought. We don't certainly have to decide that tonight. It's not on the agenda for us to decide tonight, but we may make it on the agenda as a consideration for next Monday so that we can keep the process flowing quickly.
I was looking, oh, sorry, Mr. Chairman, may I be recognized?
Yes, sir.
I was looking at here 2-550. Now, this is all the descriptions of the contractors that's supposed to be certified.
It's definition, are you looking at the ordinance?
I'm
or
looking at the definitions.
Definitions. Those are just definitions that it follows through
Yeah,
with.
but to your question, I think it's contractors who do these kinds of work would need to be pre-qualified over a certain dollar amount, for any project that comes to you all for approval. This would be 25,000 or more.
So on our $20,000 project for the houses, rehab houses, that doesn't come under this?
It does not, the way it's written currently.
And you don't think it should? Because we kind of get, like I said, with those $20,000 houses, we need some good contractors there too.
We absolutely do.
So I'm just curious why that's not on here.
Quite frankly, we were trying to figure out, we didn't want it to be for every project because we need to be able to, 25,000 is the amount we chose because that's the amount that you guys see anyway. That was the reason. So there wasn't any more thinking that went into it beyond that, is that we had to pick a number, and it seemed like the 25,000 is the number that you all approve anyway for purchasing authority, and so that's why we chose 25,000.
And I totally understand your question there, and I think it's something that we need to continue to discuss as we look at that. Pre-qualifications on that too also can slow down the process and normal maintenance and operations that can really get cumbersome. I know we tried that in some of our areas, and sometimes it can get really challenging in just normal repairs, trying to find people that can meet those standards. But I think that's something that we can definitely take a look at.
Well, so in order to take a look at it, what would we have to do?
We just review it before it comes back to council. I think we continue to digest this document.
What I think is that $20,000 project, what we doing with these houses, I think it ought to be added on there too. Because like I say, y'all all seen it up here yourself on that screen, that the quality of some of the work we get from that $20,000, that definitely needs to be on there.
I mean, that's a relatively simple amendment if that's the will of the body. We do currently have trouble getting contractors at all for those bids, and that's our job, is to try and make sure we get those, as many contractors. As you recall, the last time we had a bid, we got one bid, and so we are rebidding those. So having pre-qualification is going to make it harder, and right now we're just getting one bid. But if that's the will of the body that we want to pre-qualify those, that's certainly something that we can do as well.
And let me add one thing. If that is something that the council wants to do, then we will need to rework the provisions and the definitions, because currently our authority for adopting this comes from the Public Competitive Bidding Act of 1974. And the limitation is that the improvements are public improvements and they're done on public property. With the housing project, those are done on private property. So if we were to incorporate that as part of this, we'd need to modify the definition, which of course we could, but I wanted to bring that up, that if we did that, it's going to look significantly different than the document that you have here today. And so what might be appropriate is to develop a second ordinance which relates to some level of qualifications for lesser amounts, which could represent a reduced amount of application fee, because some of those smaller contractors may not have the resources to pay a higher qualification fee or application fee, and they may not have the need to require all the financial accountability that we have in these larger contracts. So it may be better that we look at that as a separate ordinance, which we can certainly do.
I think we should, Roy.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
But that's what I'm saying is, if the council wants to do that, I would suggest doing it under a separate ordinance so that we don't get these confused from public construction contracts and public improvements from those that are paid for by the public, which have some private benefit, because currently we use foundation dollars to pay for those.
So in order to get a separate ordinance, we'd have to put something on the agenda for Monday night. That's what I'm saying.
Staff could take that as direction to prepare a secondary ordinance relating to those types of things, if that's the will of the body.
Can I make a motion?
I don't think it'd be necessary to make a motion, as long as we have consensus that that is something that the staff wants, that the council wants us to work on.
Or alternatively, Councilor Van could just list that as a separate agenda item for Monday night.
He could certainly do that too.
Yes.
Is that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we can certainly, we'll take that as direction to put an agenda item on specifically to address that. Now, just recognize, since the agenda will go out in less than 48 hours, we will not have time to have draft did the ordinance. So what we'll do is put it on in concept.
Okay. That's fine.
Any other questions regarding item number 4?
I turn the floor back over to you, Mr. Chairman.
Move for approval.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Evelyn Hibbs.
Yes.
Stephanie Morgan.
Yes.
Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Alex Reynolds.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Mayor Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Item number 4 passes. Item number 5. Got it 6, I'm sorry.
Consider the appointment of Counselor Alex Reynolds to the City of Muskogee Foundation Board, filling the unexpired term of Counselor Jamie Stout, beginning January 7, 2020, and ending on August 31, 2020, or take other necessary action.
Mr. Coleman.
Yes, Mr. Chairman and committee, this is my recommendation. Councilor Stout has served on the foundation board in an exemplary fashion, but due to other commitments, is unable to complete her term. And my recommendation is that Councilor Reynolds will serve on this board to fulfill that unexpired term. That will give him an opportunity to see the dynamics of how that board actually works, and it also gives us a way to have our newer counselors serve in those capacities where others of us have already served. So that would be my motion for approval.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Evelyn Hibbs.
Yes.
Stephanie Morgan.
Yes.
Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Alex Reynolds.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Mayor Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Congratulations.
That will conclude our regular meeting, and no one else is signed up to speak. So that will conclude our agenda.
And with that, we will go into our special call meeting of January 6, 2020. Roll call.
Mayor Janie Boydston.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Wayne Johnson.
Here.
Evelyn Hibbs.
Here.
Stephanie Morgan.
Here.
Marlon Coleman.
Here.
Ivory Van.
Here.
Derek Reed.
Here.
Alex Reynolds.
Here.
Jamie Stout.
Here.
Okay, we're all here. Item 1.
Pursuant to Section 307B4, Title 25, Oklahoma statutes, consider convening an executive session to discuss potential litigation related to the 1984 Urban Renewal Authority Plan, and if necessary, take appropriate action in open session.
Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion, we go into executive session.
Second.
Okay, roll call.
Deputy Mayor Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Evelyn Hibbs.
Yes.
Stephanie Morgan.
Yes.
Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Alex Reynolds.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Mayor Janie Boydston.
Yes, and the motion carries. if you'll please excuse us while we go into executive session. Back, I think. Mr. Tucker? Oh, roll call.
Mayor Janie Boydston.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Wayne Johnson.
Here.
Evelyn Hibbs. Here. Stephanie Morgan. Here. Marlon Coleman.
Here.
Ivory Van.
Here.
Derek Reed.
Here.
Alex Reynolds. Here. Jamie Stout.
Here.
Mr. Tucker?
Thank you, Mayor. Pursuant to Section 307B4, Title 25 Oklahoma statutes, consider convening, the City Council did convene an executive session to discuss potential litigation related to the 1984 Urban Renewal Plan. After being fully briefed on the potential litigation stemming from the Arrowhead Mall area, which is within the 1984 area for the Urban Renewal Plan, the council did entertain a number of questions and have further directed that the city attorney prepare and research a report on the appropriate legal responses and potential liability related to the existing 1984 plan and to report that at the next available meeting. Other than that, no action is necessary at this time. Mayor?
Well, thank you very much, and with that, we are adjourned.